Happy New Year, Dangerlings! Happy New Year! Happy New Year for all acquaintance be forgot. Do you know Robbie Burns?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, good old Robbie Burns wrote that. Burns Night is on the 25th of January. That's my birthday.
And you're never seen in the same room as Robert Burns himself.
Exactly. Dangerlings, this is Danger Recall, the show where we talk about our show. I am your host. My name's Colin. My birthday's on the 25th of January. On Burns Night, you can have a wee dram of whiskey if you drink. You can have a nice bit of haggis. You know you can get vegan haggis. It's really, really good. I enjoy it. You should enjoy it too. Have some neeps and tatties. It's a bit of a Scottish tradition. I love it. You should love it. With me today, I have some guests. I've got Ross Harmston.
Hello.
How are you, Ross?
Very good.
I'm glad. I've also got with me Daniel Thompson.
Happy birthday, Robbie Hubbard. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm feeling good. Although it's April the 12th, I think, or April the something. I don't know what it is, but it's April.
Burns Night. It's MCM Comic Con. It's all of them all at once. Nothing will make you forget what day it is more than trying to do a podcast and then doing multiple podcasts that release at different times. I've no idea where we are anymore.
It's the 20th of April. My birthday's long gone, all right? But we are going to celebrate it soon because we couldn't celebrate it back in those days. Doesn't matter. Scott, you're here with us too. How are you?
Hello. It's, should old acquaintance be forgot and never brought to mind? And then I think it repeats itself. I think it's, should old acquaintance be forgot or old lang syne? I'm pretty sure that bit gets, it sounds like there's going to be a resolution to that line. Like, should old acquaintance be forgot and never brought to mind? You're like, yeah, what will happen if old acquaintance be forgot and doesn't come to mind? And then it just goes, for old acquaintance be forgot. It sounds like it was written a bit by Ross.
It totally does.
I am old lang syne.
It's a Ross song. Isn't it got one of those, hasn't it got loads and loads of verses that, people just don't know? It's like national anthems. Like everybody only knows the first verse.
Yeah,
something like that.
As Will Smith famously says in his song, I think is it Will 2K? That's the album. Wait, which one's what he did on Millennium? I can't remember. But anyway, he says that in that song.
The album was
is
Millennium,
it?
wasn't it?
Nice. I was well out by saying Will 2K. I was well out.
I guess you were thinking of Y2K, which really messed us up, didn't it? Do you remember Y2K when everything just went dark and?
Yeah, the bug. Yeah.
So I was taught for a year when I did my masters in stand up. We had a guest lecturer for a while called Tony Allen, who's one of the Comedy Store originals. He's an amazing old clown, an old school comedian, great guy, and he was a regular on Speaker's Corner. That was kind of his big gig after getting out of alternative comedy. Was he would go and do big speeches. Speaker's Corner's a place in Hyde Park. You can go and get up on a box and just people do speeches and things. It's a lovely old school thing. You go down, listen, heckle. Not now, obviously, but it was it's a great thing. But he used to go up there all the time, and his big thing, and he writes about it in his book, was the Millennium Bug. And he loved this idea. He loved this idea that like capitalist culture was going to destroy itself. That like we built our own redundancy into our own system, and one day it was just going to go, and the banks were going to collapse, and that was going to be the end of it, and it would be the start of socialism. And he spent a year basically just preaching about how Y2K was happening with glee, and then he had to turn up there on January the 2nd, 2000, when nothing had happened, and everyone else is like, all right, Tony, how you doing? And he was like, shut up, and just had to like pick a new thing and start again.
Did he go down there with Glee, like the cast of Glee?
Oh yeah, he was.
Like,
that's a standard thing. You have to have a member of the cast of Glee with you if you want to perform at Speaker's Corner. It's weird.
Yeah,
weird old.
Like,
goes back to the Middle Ages. Weird rule.
2012, people said that the world was going to end in 2012.
Yeah,
didn't happen. The only thing that ended was John Cusack's career when he did.
Oh my
when
God.
he did 2012, the film.
Oh! Are you taking that bit from another podcast?
No,
there, Ross?
I came up with that.
That sounded re-rehearsed. That was good.
Yeah, I know. I sometimes come out on them.
Yeah, I know. I'm going to try it out at Speaker's Corner.
So maybe the Mayans, when they were looking into the future, they just predicted the end of someone's career and they just kind of got the wording wrong.
Yeah.
In translation.
I
who knows?
love John Cusack, but anyone involved in that dumpster fire of a film, I'm sad to say, probably deserves not to. Have you seen that? Do you know the ending of 2012?
I've never seen it.
The whole, I can't believe I've seen. Imagine the great movies I haven't seen, and somehow I've seen that terrible film. This is why I stopped watching just a lot of films, because I might accidentally see a movie like 2012 again. The ending of that movie is the whole world has been flooded. Everyone's like, all the Americans are on their ark that they've somehow managed to get to. That they saved the dog. They're all floating around and they're like, oh, what do we do now? And then something appears on the radar and it's Africa, and they're like, a whole new land for us to live in with no one there. And I'm like, oh my God,
Jesus.
what? Yeah, that is literally the end of it. It ends with them colonizing Africa, and that's the happy ending of it.
There should be a sequel to that where they're just like, so hi.
We're already here.
About the aid that we didn't give and the resources that we kind of stole. And anyway, listen, this has become back like a whole colonization. Remember, in our country, this is how we started. We came begging and like cold and starving and hungry. We promise we're not going to do that again.
We honestly, John Cusack's here. We're good guys. We're good guys.
John Cusack, like, I loathe him as an actor. I despise him as an actor. But I can't remember who said it, but someone pointed out, like, he just plays how in one of Rick Sanchez's many rants, he annihilates Jerry's character in the episode where he gets the balls smacking against his head. I could describe to you a more efficient and less coarse way of doing that, but everyone knows which episode I'm talking about. If I do that bit, it's instantaneous. Anyway, so in that bit, he talks about Jerry as a predator, like a beta male predator or something like that. Goes off on a very angry, typical Sanchez rant, right? That's John Cusack to me, right? He plays these wet characters who are always like, oh, I'm feeble and stuff. Until I saw him in one of my favourite films, that Stephen King adaptation of that short story he did about the room, the hotel room, 2075 or whatever it's called. He was really good in that, John Cusack. The entire cast was really good in that. Like, he did a really introspective bit about like destroying his own ego whilst he was trapped in that room. It was really very good. Anyway, so that was my arc on John Cusack.
Now you love him. He's your favourite actor.
I don't love him. I don't love.
You've got Scott's got a poster of him on his wall behind it.
Strokes it every night. Talks to it.
Yeah,
it's all right. It's all right, Scott. Just embrace it. It's fine.
Yeah.
I'll never embrace John Cusack. He's too wet for me. Out my arms.
Yeah.
We've lost a listener now. John Cusack, sorry, mate.
It was John Cusack. Yeah. Tweet us.
Literally just unsubscribe from the Patreon right now.
Yeah, John Cusack. Oh, we just got the email. Oh,
weirdly, Joan Cusack hasn't. So some potential beef there, I guess. Between the siblings.
Joan Cusack, eh?
Appropriately enough, this is the first episode, I think, where we're like,
whoa,
do you think we're rambling too long?
Don't you start doing links? All right, saying your show. Appropriate enough. This is one of the shows where we don't do too much preamble. Stolen your bit, Dan. I'm only joking. So thank you for coming, guests. It's still quite early, isn't it? It's still it's only about half. Well, it's near 10 o'clock anyway. It's early for us.
I don't think we can say it's early anymore. I don't think we can get away with saying it's early.
I'm not sure we could say it was early at 9. I think we're still kind of character assassinating actors by being like, oh, it's so early. Got to start work at 9 o'clock.
Yeah. I guess we just got into this thing where we can just lay in bed all day, haven't we? We need to get up and do things, and that's why we're doing this. This is we're talking about episode 31 today. It's New Year's. That's why I sang the New Year's song at the beginning of this episode. Dangerlings, sorry about the confusion. If you think it's New Year's, it's not. Don't go back to bed. Don't order Domino's. It's not that day. We can't go out tonight. The ball's not going to drop. It's called Taking the Biss. Great title, Dan. Well done for that. We've got music from Kev, Sword Coast Soundscapes. We've got YouTube audio, which I don't remember using, but whatever. We've got Ross Bludgeon. And first up, we talk about Chappie LaRue and we talk about Beverly Hills Cop, don't we? A little bit. Do you remember this? We were talking about your
Jonathan Banks.
Jonathan Banks. In fact, I tell you what, Ross, can you give me a summary?
So we get out of the hole, and then we contact the Dusk Warden, who's a female Chappie LaRue, basically. She takes us out of the place, the thing. We go through, and we are in Kaer Maga. We're in the tent city of like just outside. We go past someone who's selling pocket meat, which is annoying. I wanted to go and beat him up, but Colin stopped me. And then we get a hotel, and that's it. And then right at the end there's a cliffhanger at the end with someone from Caragor's backstory.
Yeah,
and that's it, really.
That's a summary. That one's a hell of a summary. The female Dust Warden that turns up, I'm trying to remember her name because I didn't listen to this episode. Was it Chartreuse Le Gruyere, or was it Joan Lebris, or what was the naming trope?
This was a question on the Big Dangerous Quiz of the year that you won. So, although I don't think anyone got it.
Oh shit!
How did you get it wrong? Yeah,
it was Santine Roulade.
Santine Roulade.
Combine French-sounding sounds. To make a name, basically.
Good.
Does anyone in France listen to the Danger Club podcast?
Not after this episode.
They're not going to reply right now.
Miles lives in France. He's a Dangerling.
He emigrated, didn't he? He's living on a bus out there at the moment. He's refusing to come back. I've been playing D&D with him, and everyone else is sort of tuning in from their rooms and their flats and stuff like that. And you can still see fairy lights in the back of Miles's thing. You're like, Miles, are you relaxing? He's sprawled out. There's 2 bottles of wine. His brother's drunk in the background. There's a lovely sunset. There's fields and stuff. You're like, damn it, Miles.
Amazing. That sounds really good. Well, tweet us France, tweet us Smiles, tweet us everyone else, if you want. Good. So, female Chappie LaRue. She's great. We do talk about your man. What's his name again?
Who is your man?
Your man. You know your man.
Chappie LaRue?
Chappie LaRue, yeah. From
you literally just said his name. You literally said, yeah.
Say it again for me, Ross.
Oh,
Chappie LaRue.
No, not him.
Oh.
The actor that plays him.
Oh, Jonathan Banks.
Thank you.
Right.
I have to, I forget his name every time. Jonathan Banks. And he's such a great actor as well. I think I put it in the Discord because we talked about him a couple of episodes ago as well. So you've got all the scenes from Beverly Hills Cop in there. He gets punched by Eddie Murphy and he punches Eddie Murphy and then he gets shot. He's quite a badass, isn't he, that guy?
Yeah. He brings so much to that role in Breaking Bad. He's just so good in it. Yeah. So good. And then, they adapt him so much more in Better Call Saul, give him such... so good.
And speaking of that link, is he in Breaking Bad as well?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of that link, isn't this the episode where you say something to the pocket meat seller?
Yes.
What do you say, Ross?
It's where it gets set up. He doesn't say it in this episode.
Yeah,
okay,
we go past him, because Dan just throws in, there's a guy selling pots, or there's a guy selling this, and there's a guy selling pocket meat. And then I went, whoa. What? And then MZ pulls me away. And I think that plants in my head. I'm like, good. I'm going to remember him. Even though that was just a throwaway thing for Dan, probably.
He has an arc.
Yeah.
I think he probably ends up in more episodes than Chappie LaRue does in the end. The pocket meat John.
Probably.
We also kill a badger as well.
I was going to say at the beginning of the episode we have a fight with balls and we almost everyone rolls really badly.
Yeah. And then I throw
to the point that I'm like, are we going to have to roll initiative against this badger? I don't want to have to. I thought this would be done in 2 things, but it seems to be extending. I want to, Scott, what was Caragor's plan with offering balls the amulet? Because everyone suddenly panicked and we never really got to find out where it was going. But I really wanted to know where that was going.
It was a mix, really, of several things. One of them was maybe, how would you say, abject fear. There might have been a bit of take us to your next master. There was possibly a little bit of maybe the badger will know how to activate the amulet. And the third thing was, we can't have another fight right now. Just take the amulet and please don't fight as Badger. Also, it was probably the first and last time Caragor was trying to act on any range sensibilities of like, here boy, doing the the Velociraptor taming thing. And look how that worked out. Since then, never again. Never again.
Yeah,
they ended up just throwing meat down the down into the hole.
Yeah, that's right. Fulton just chucks a bit of pocket meat.
A little bit of backstory as to what Raymir did to his badger.
Bit of backstory on a different character from a different campaign in a different system.
Yeah, I don't even know what that
when
means.
we recall that,
you've lost me. You've lost all the lings. We've lost everyone.
I think.
Did you know? Sorry, Dan.
No, go for it.
That and I learned this from a lady that when going around badger territory, if you're out in the wilds, it is very wise to take a thin stick with you, because if on the case that a badger decides that you are in its territory, it will bite you. And badgers have such a strong jaw, they will not let go until they hear the crack of bone.
Wow.
So you take a stick with you. If you ever get bitten by a badger, you snap it immediately, and it will hopefully let go and leave you alone.
Do you have to just lean over towards its ear and just go?
Yeah, probably. Yeah. Please let me go, please.
Wow. And then it's just like, right, we're done here.
Yeah.
Tick that one off. Off I go. You can stay now.
Today.
I mean, you probably like a shark and stuff. You go for its eyes. Do you know what I mean?
I mean, honestly,
you
I'd
go
say
for it like a shark?
you go for its eyes. I think pretty much anything you go for, anything with eyes, that's a pretty good tactic.
Get your thumbs in the eyes.
Do you have to go for the badger's eyes like a shark, or was that the?
I thought you stick your finger up their bum.
What?
I thought you stick your finger. You stick your finger.
No, that's vanilla ice cream.
You don't stick your finger in vanilla ice cream's bum either.
No, because it relaxes them, and then they let go of their jaw.
No, Ross, if you get attacked by a badger, you don't finger it.
Where is this from? What is this
Trust
from?
me. When the danger
All right, let's go out and find some fucking badgers.
All right.
Trust you, who's been into the country once in his life.
Trust me, if you stick your finger up an animal's bottom when they're biting on you, it will cause them to let you go. So
yeah, if you survived long enough to initiate foreplay with an animal, then potentially yes, you might be all right.
Right, I'm gonna get a badger and then we'll test it out.
All right, you go get a badger. And
for God's sake,
look, they carry TB.
This is the Patreon content we need. There's a series of books by an author called Willard Price from like I don't know when, probably the 50s or something, but they're like adventure books for boys from that kind of era, about some brothers who go around rounding up animals for a zoo. And it's probably horrible now, but I read them all as a kid because there were tons of them in a library. And the only other person I know who's read them is James, because they were probably only available in those parts of Kent. In those kind of very like provincial little libraries, but there's a bit in it where it explains how to choke a jaguar to death while it's trying to maul you. And so it's that weird thing when when James and I are like comparing books we've read, I was like, isn't it weird how we both know how to kill a jaguar, and yet I'm fairly confident neither of us could. It's just that weird knowledge that you have as a kid that you remember. So thumb up the butt, or fist down the throat for a jaguar, or snap a twig for a badger. That's animal safety tips from the Danger Club podcast.
Offer it some ice cream.
James and Dan maybe couldn't kill a jaguar, but Ross could definitely finger a badger. That's where we're at.
Oh my goodness! So
that's 20 minutes.
Colin, we're at 20 minutes.
It's fine.
We got loads of time. 30 seconds.
It's fine. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Right. We asked Sontine about a few things. We asked him about, we asked him about zombies. We also hear the name Marguerite Dubois. Ooh, little foreshadowing there. Marguerite Dubois. We're not going to talk about it. No spoilers. But we hear that name, which is quite important. And then we exit the dark light path, the half light path. And as we exit, we are looking up at Kaer Maga in the night sky. Love this imagery. The city sounds. We get into the city. We get the pocket meat cellar. This is a great moment. Dan, did you just throw this in the Pocket Me Cell? I know we talked about it, but did you just throw it in?
Pocket Me, I wanted all sorts of stuff in there. Like, first impressions of a city are one of my favourite things to do, and I think it's one of the most important things in a role-playing game, is that feeling when you enter a new location, and you've got to feel it. You've got to have every kind of sense of what it's like, especially in this, where this is the first city that you've been to in the campaign and that many of your characters have ever been to. So you had to get this idea of danger and busyness and an atmosphere, and it's easy to do with Kaer Maga because Kaer Maga is so amazing. But that's where you want to have all of the people selling stuff. You want to have all the, like, you gave Ica a massive get out on this because like there's a guy being like, oh, do you want to buy some string? And that's Ica's first thing of running off is like, oh, I want to buy some string. And none of you quite reasonably were like, shut up, nerd, you're not buying string. That's a stupid thing to want to buy.
Did you? What about the elf with the sewn up mouth?
Yeah, so there we never. There's so many bits of Kaer Maga that we never really get to touch on. They're called the Sweet Talkers. The Sweet Talkers are they're a cult of, or a religious sect in Kaer Maga. They come from Tianjia, and basically they believe that words are a gift from God, and the only word that is fit to speak is the true name of God. But no mortal has ever achieved that level at the moment. So they sew their mouths shut so that they can't accidentally speak a word against God. Lovely little bit, but just like a nice, like a visual thing of just like, you want to get that kind of Mos Eisley thing of like walking through and there's suddenly a creature walking across in front of you that's a bit weird. It's like, oh, and that's it. That's the whole encounter, but it just gives you a flavour for the city.
Yeah, it's real nice. We see the balcony's abyss. We see a golem. There's a lift. Do you remember the lift? The lift. Everyone gets in the lift, but Em and Fulton, they sort of run upstairs instead.
Yeah,
that's a really nice bit. We were talking in the pre-thing of this, when we get to these kind of episodes, because these are some of my favourite eps. This is the episode I used to tell people to start listening to the show on, and for so many reasons. But one of the things I like in it is that we're starting to get the tech sorted, and I feel, Colin, like you're more comfortable on these eps, and you're relaxing into it and getting to actually enjoy the character and do little bits like, I'm going to race Fulton up the stairs, and like we're seeing a side of M's personality start to come out and start to really get a sense of him as a character. And it's the same with Caragor getting frustrated with everyone. I feel like we're getting really nice little character moments from people in this episode.
I mean, there's still moments I can hear, like in the tech, where I think at the moment Ross is still using his Yeti plugged into the mixer via a jack to XLR cable, which sort of bumps it a little bit. But it's still, everyone's got their own mic. I can also sometimes hear when people like turn away from their microphones, and I can remember myself kind of looking above in the room, pointing at the microphone and trying to get their attention to do that, and then other people joining in and pointing at the mic, and then whoever that person may be realizing, and all of a sudden, you hear this, and then you hear this sort of happen where you've got that kind of effect where their voice clicks into gear because they're actually facing the mic. But it is really good. We are getting a lot better, and it's great to hear that sound. It's great. We talk about the spy as well. We never actually get this. I think we'll talk about it later in a different episode.
I really wanted you to get this into the game. Yeah, it's a lovely little tool, and it's basically like a little robot spy that you can send into rooms and spy and scout for you. Lovely item to have. You get
pictures and audio and stuff like that, don't you? It's like a proper spy.
Would have been really, and it would have been really handy in the Godsmith ossuary. It would have been. I was kind of, but it's quite expensive for you, so it is a bit of an investment. But I was like, I really wanted you to have it because I thought that would have been a really fun thing, and we could have given it personality.
It was the expense, I think, in the end that killed that for us, because I think in Caragor's mind, I mean, Caragor, you might have gathered, is slightly distrustful of what he thinks is high-level technology anyway, but with that in particular, would have been like, what is the point of wasting all this money on a thing that we're going to put into a room, it's just going to get eaten by a spider in the first 30 seconds, like imagine if we'd built it up, got all those dwarven parts and all the gear parts, built it together, spent all that cash in it, we go, off you go, spider, a robot drone thing, and he just gets yeeted by an ogre. Like,
Spears would have had it, wouldn't it?
Spears, yeah. I mean, in hindsight, it would have been so sick to have. But again, hindsight is a thing, isn't it? We all think, we don't really want that, and actually now it's like, that's pretty good, yeah. So seize the day, what we need to do, don't we? We need to seize those opportunities when Dan presses them up. But sometimes Dan could be setting us up for a trap, couldn't he? That's
it's not a trap. It's
you
just
can't
like
trust these DMs.
Yes,
Can you?
this is the thing: is you can't follow every plot thread that gets thrown at you in a game like this, and you shouldn't, because having like we over-explain the game too much anyway, because that's kind of what we're doing. That's what we're doing. We're showing behind the curtain. Like you would never talk about things this much in an actual campaign. But having things that you don't follow up just makes the world bigger. It makes the fact that you couldn't do everything makes it feel like there's more in the world. It's nice.
Ross, what did you think about this world?
As in Kaer Maga or the whole world in general? I really liked it.
Just the introduction to it.
I thought it was a good description. I really pictured it, especially like all the little bits when we were running up the stairs. I thought it was really well explained, and I could really visualize it, and also it really helped as well listening to it, like the audio that you did, the sound effects that you put on the back of it as well, like the people talking and like I just thought it was really good. It's good. Did you enjoy writing it, Dan?
Oh, I will talk about this every episode until we leave Kaer Maga, I think. The City of Strangers, the Kaer Maga book, which is it's a first edition book, and you can get those for basically nothing now, and it's got almost no rules on it. It's just lore. It's by James L. Sutter, who's a really good writer, and it is so evocative. Like you want to get every single thing, and everything I read, I was like, I need that, and that needs to be in the game, and that needs to be in the game, and that needs to be in the game, and that maybe they'll just walk across the background of a shot, or just there's so many bits in here that I just never got tired of writing stuff in Kaer Maga and just coming up with those visuals, and even down to like the balcony hotel, having a hotel just on the wall of the, like 4 stories up on the wall of the thing with balconies around it, and just everything about it. Beautiful city, wonderful setting.
And then the episode ends, doesn't it? Really, it ends there with us just entering the city, and then we have the drow moment. Two drow like cornering Shania in the corridor there, like one of them standing going, "Where are you going, sister?" And then another one comes out and like blocks her from going. It's really dark and like, oh my god, who are these guys? What's that all about?
I can't tell you very much at all about the drow, because it is still very much an active plot line in the main Danger Club podcast.
Whoa, that's a spoiler in itself.
But
wow,
because that's not been resolved. They're still out there. What were they talking about? I can tell you that Devere is taken from the Dark Elf trilogy by R.A. Salvatore. It's the name of one of the houses in that, and I pinched it from there. But other than that, I will tell you nothing about the drow.
It's good to know. That's really good to know. That's exciting to hear that there might be something in the future about all.
I want to go back and I'm going to go back and read it. I've never read the Drizzt books, and they come up all the time with friends who talk about fantasy, and I just figure it's about time. I'm just going to go read it. What with Dark Alliance coming out as well, the D&D game. I'm just going to. Do you know what? It's been ages since I read a good fantasy book. I'm going to go and start reading the R.A. Salvatore ones.
Nice.
I'm excited for you. I hope they're still good. This is the thing. It's one of those books, like I read it when I was 15 and thought it was the greatest thing in the world, and I really hope that it still is.
Yeah, that's it's good to be able to go in with that kind of thing, isn't it? Like, yeah, similar with me about like Dragonlance, with like I read those as a 14-year-old, so just bear that in mind. Anyway, I derailed onto other nerdism. Sorry, my bad.
It's fine. So there's your recommendation for this week's Danger Recall. Dangerlings, we're going to end it there. It's been great. I've loved talking about that episode. Can't wait to get into the next one. Thank you so much to my guests. Scott?
Once more, I go. Once more, I disappear. Once more, I am never here.
Lovely. And to my other guest, Ross?
Bye!
And my other guest, Dan?
Thank you, Colin. I'm going to go and thumb a badger and choke a jaguar.
Danger Recall, Dangerlings, thank you so much. Bye.
See you later, guys.
Why do I always wait?